My name is Masha Shukovich. My pronouns are she and they. And my ancestral and indigenous roots are in the Balkans, the Mediterranean, and West, Central, and Northeast Asia. I'm a writer and a storyteller and a keeper of ancestral knowledge through song, through ritual, and through my connection to the land, all of her beings, all of her elements, the water, the earth, the sky, all of the spirits, all of the ancestors. And I like to work with all of them when I write. I feel that in a way they're working through me, and they're all within me. They're in my DNA, they're in my memories, they're in the way that I connect to everything. I'm working on multiple projects right now, but the one that is at the forefront of my writing efforts is my novel, which is titled The Taste of Names. And this is a story that takes place in a country that no longer exists, which is the place where I was born. And this place was once known as Yugoslavia. And now it's been split into many different entities, many different countries. And the capital of ex-Yugoslavia, which is where I was born, Belgrade, is now the capital of Serbia. And it's a strange thing to come from a place that no longer exists. Some folks have experienced it, and it kind of messes with your identity. One thing that was perhaps helpful to me was that I actually never really felt like I belonged, even in that place that was once whole and uninterrupted by war. And so I had to adjust to a sense of not belonging and accepting both belonging in different forms and not belonging throughout my life. And there are many reasons why I didn't feel like I belonged. I looked different. I acted differently. I asked questions that seemed obtrusive or unnecessary to people who knew exactly from the get-go how things worked. But I was not born with that ability to fully understand humans and human worlds, human society. And so when I was a little kid, I was convinced that I wasn't human. I didn't really know about culture. You know, when you're born into a place, you kind of imagine that's the world. And if you don't belong in that world and everyone else seems like they do, you might end up like me, wondering, am I human? And I remember asking my mom, are you sure that you gave birth to me? I felt like I belonged with my mom, but it was more of a, are you sure that I'm human kind of question? And I also remember when I was little, a friend of mine who came over to play with me said, you know what? I don't think that your mom is really your mom. She has lighter skin than you do and lighter eyes, and she's too nice. She cannot possibly be your mom. And I was horrified. I love my mom so much. And I thought, oh my God, they know. They know that I'm an alien. So it went that far. So actually, a lot of my work with writing is really about reclaiming my own humanity. But one place where I always felt like I belonged, and there was never any question, was the wild. The beautiful, beautiful wild. The trees and the earth and the water and the sky above and the wind. I would talk to wind all the time. And when I was little, I had a she-wolf who would follow me everywhere. This was really in my imagination, but she was so real to me. And whenever I was afraid, and that was often, I would call upon my wolf. And later on, when I started studying folklore and folk tales of my people, particularly my lineage in the Balkans and ex-Yugoslavia and Serbia, I found out that Serbs used to believe, before they were colonized, in between the 13th and 17th century, that they were once wolves and that they came from the great, 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 great grandmother wolf. And that because they were wolves, they were able to shapeshift from wolf to human and back to wolf again. And then over time, they lost that ability. But I felt that there was something very powerful about that notion, the idea that we can become animal. And at some point, I realized that I am human, but I'm also an animal. So sometimes I like to quote one of my wonderful mentors from my MFA, Banu Kapil, and call myself a humanimal. She has a book titled Humanimal, which is one of my favorite books. So here I am, a humanimal.